Good morning, everyone. Can we confirm if you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, ma'am.
We can hear you.
All right, good morning, everybody. I'd like to welcome us all. Okay, so we can start. Good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to welcome you all to today's training session, which would be beginning now. My name is Juma Mercy Olateju, and I'll be your moderator for today's session. I'm excited to have you all here as we explore this topic, how to keep accounting records using automated Excel. And I'm sure you guys are as excited as I am, as we're going to be learning a lot today. Now, before we start, I want to introduce the lead mentor for today, our speaker, Mr. Donald Mezu. He'll be bringing a wealth of expertise and he will lead us through this session. And joining him as well in this same meeting are our fantastic co-professionals who will be chipping in here and there, adding one or two knowledges in person of Mr. Akin, Mr. Gabriel, and Mr. Raymond. Each of them would share valuable insights as to this topic, and we are so grateful to have them here with us. Now, before I get started, I would like to also establish a few housekeeping rules. We ask that everybody keep your mics muted. Please, I will take that again. Everybody, please kindly keep your mics muted. At every point in time, always double check and ensure that your mics are muted during the training so that you will not cause distractions as to when the lead mentor is speaking or when others are listening. Because once your mic is on, it causes a distraction and it throws us off balance. So please always double check every 5-10 minutes, ensure that your mic is muted, most especially when you have been locked out by probably network and you're coming back in. Double check to ensure that your mic is muted. Also, I would also like to acknowledge my co-admin, Peace. I don't know if Peace is here, but yes, she would also be assisting me with the whole moderation. Before we get started, also, yes, before I forget, if you have any questions, don't forget how we do it. If you're a regular here, you would know that you should keep your questions in the chat box or you wait after the session. We'll give the floor or open the floor for people to ask their questions. So if you have any questions, you can either choose to drop it in the comment box. That's for our shy people who probably don't want to speak. And for people who want to speak and, explain or share or talk or say the question, you can wait till after the session and any questions of yours will be answered and attended to. Also, I think let's just do a little introduction so that we'll know that it's not AI or it's not robots behind. So that we'll know that it's not AI or robots behind the. Can we still hear me? Please confirm if you can hear me. Let me be sure I'm not talking to myself.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. So, yes, like I was saying, can we do a brief introduction? Like, let's just introduce ourselves, let's get to know each other. So we're sure that it's not robots that are behind these names that I'm seeing here. So, I think I've introduced myself. I don't know if you guys heard my name. I think I made mention of my name. I said my name is Mercy Gmore, and I'll be your moderator for today. So the floor is open. Just tell us your name, your location, and yes, your name, your location. Let it go like that. Thank you. So we can start.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Uche. I'm joining
Okay.
from Abuja.
Okay, I'm Moche. You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so who's next?
Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Anyanwu Johnson. I'm joining from Abuja.
Okay, Mr. Ayam Johnson, nice to meet you. Thank you for joining. Who's next, please?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Aisha Farouk. I'm joining from Kaduna.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Aisha Farouk. We're very excited to have you here. Thank you for joining. Next, please.
Yes, good morning. My name is Kingsley Uche, and I'm joining from Abuja. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Kingsley Uche. Thank you very much for joining in, and we're excited to have you. Next, please.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Aja Christian. I'm joining from Abuja.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adja Christian. It's very nice to have you here. Please let's move on. Let's continue with introductions. Let's continue with it. We don't have people from other states. Please, if you're from other states, please feel free. The floor is still open. Let's do the introductions as quickly as possible. The floor is
My
open.
name is, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Jonathan Adegwega. I'm joining from Abuja.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Johnson Adibinga.
Jonathan.
Okay, Jonathan. Okay, sorry. Thank you, Mr. Jonathan Adibinga. Thank you for joining in.
Hello.
Moving on.
My name is Datunieze. I'm joining from Abuja.
Okay, Mr. Anthony Eze, thank you for joining in.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. My name is Eniola Samuel. I'm joining from Abuja.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Eniola Samuel. Thank you for joining in. We really appreciate you. Please, let's continue with the introductions. Let's keep it as
Good
fast and brief
morning,
as possible.
everyone. Good
Good
morning,
morning.
everyone. I'm Chinechire Miriam. I'm joining from Abuja.
Sorry, I didn't get that. Can you come again?
I said I'm Chinechire Miriam. I'm joining from Abuja.
Okay, thank you very much for joining in. Thank you. Next.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Udofa Tinyobong Jennifer, and I'm joining from Port Harcourt.
Thank you very much, Jennifer, for joining in. We really do appreciate you. Next person, please.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Moses Alonge. I'm joining from Abuja.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Moses. Thank you for joining in. Next, are we done with introductions? Has everybody introduced themselves? Is that all? Is that all of us? Hello, can you hear me? Please kindly indicate that you can hear me, so I'm sure that I'm not just talking to myself.
Yes, we
Yes,
can hear
we can hear you.
loud.
Okay, thank you very much. So are we done? Has everybody introduced themselves? Okay, so I'll take that as a yes. And yeah. Before we get started, I would also like to emphasize on the rules again. I'd like to emphasize on the rules. Please ensure that your mics are muted. Please, if you're kicked out by network at some point, ensure that as you're coming back in or before you come back in, mute your mics. Thank you very much. Mute your mics. And also, don't forget, feel free to ask questions. Okay, this session is specially dedicated to you guys. So don't be shy about your questions. Bring your questions. Load us with the questions. Finish us with the questions. We are here to attend to you. Okay, this platform is dedicated to you. So whenever this opportunity presents itself, I don't think you should be shy about asking questions because it will be beneficial to you. So show us your questions concerning the training, show us your questions, ask questions, and we are sure that we'll be able to give you real life insights on how to handle these issues that most likely is not clear to you or you're not clear about. Thank you very much. So just give me a few minutes and I'm sure, we'll begin shortly. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for that short quiet time. So I think right now we would introduce our speaker again, in person of Mr. Donald Mizu, who is also the lead mentor, to come and take us through the topic for today, which is how to keep accounting records using automated Excel. So Mr. Donald, are you ready for us, please? Mr. Donald.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm sorry I'm coming late. Just give me a few minutes. Let me start. I have some delays out there, so we are starting very immediately. All right, so you're all welcome to this section of our mentorship program, one of the free programs that we have. So without wasting much of your time, I am going to go. I'm trying to set up my Zoom here so I can come up, I'm opening my Excel so that we can go in. Please, I'm very sorry for coming late. I think moderator, I think you can continue with what you are doing while I set up fully. Please just continue the introduction while I set up fully now, please. Thank you. Hello, Miss, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here. Thank you very much, Mr. Donald. I'm back again. I hope you didn't miss me too much. So I'm just going to be giving
Mercy, hello, Mercy. Help me admit people that are coming in. Always check to admit them all. Yeah, please. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Admit. Okay. So I'm just going to give us a little insight as to why you should subscribe to DMC MERP. Are we aware of a mentorship subscription? We have a subscription of 10,000 annually. You subscribe to our mentorship programs and it gives you access to 50% discount of all our templates, as well as access to our private recorded videos. I'm not sure a lot of people are aware of this, but yeah, if you subscribe to our mentorship program, it gives you access to 50% discount of all our templates. Say, for instance, we had a payroll class. I don't know how many of us are aware that we had a payroll class of recent. I think that was about 2-3 weeks ago. We had a payroll class, and it was a wonderful one, filled with so much insight, so much knowledge was gained, and a lot of people benefited from the class, and they asked for our templates afterwards, and some of them were entitled to the full amount, and some of them were entitled to a discount. So now what I'm trying to say is, if you subscribe to our mentorship program, it gives you an advantage, and these are the advantages that it gives you. It gives you access to 50% discounts of all our templates, which also includes the payroll templates, and any other templates we're going to have in our free trainings. And as well, it gives you access to our private recorded videos. Advantage. So it's not a lot of money, just 10,000 naira. Yes, for the subscription, for the annual subscription, it's just 10,000 naira. So you're welcome to ask questions that you're not clear about concerning the subscription, and the admins will attend to you. And also, we have paid courses. I'm sure we are aware. We keep posting from time to time. I don't know if we're paying attention to the things we post on the platform. That's the general platform. From time to time, we post some things that tells you about our programs and, you know, our paid classes and the financial aspect, that's the cost aspect. You might say, oh, the money might be, oh, this money, are you sure I'll get my money's worth? You can be guaranteed that whatever DMC is bringing to you or whatever DMC MERP is bringing to you, it is top notch. Like it is something that will be useful to you through and through. Okay, so yes, please kindly look through the flyers that we have on the platform. Look through the one that you're interested in, and also we have discounts for early birds. I think it's there on the flyer for people who reach out to us early and on time. We have flyers, we have discounts for you guys. So just look through it, and anyone that calls to you, anyone that you think or you want to get more knowledge on, just reach out to us. We're like just a DM away, like just a message away. We would always respond to you. Thank you very much. I hope that is clear. In case you have any questions concerning what I've just said, feel free to ask, feel free to reach out, feel free to send a message on the platform. So concerning today's training, I've already made mention of leaving your questions in the chat box and ensuring that your mics are always muted. And you can be rest assured that after this session, we would give you the floor to ask your questions. The floor will be given to everybody to ask your questions. And even if it's a contribution you want to chip in, it's fine, it's welcome. You will have your time, but please ensure that there is decorum and there is coordination as to when it comes to, you know, muting your mics. Thank you very much. Mr. Donald, are you ready now?
Yes, Mercy, I am fully ready now. Thank you very much.
Okay, so please, why don't we give Mr. Donald a thumbs up as he comes to take the session. Just welcome him, give him a warm welcome, encourage him. Maybe he has been stressed out. Give him encouragement by giving him thumbs up, heart, so that he can be encouraged to speak, you know, and give you all the knowledge that you need. Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You guys are doing great. Thank you so much. All right. Over to you, Mr. Donald.
All right, thank you very much, Mercy. That's a wonderful one. You are doing what you know how to do very well. All right, please confirm if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
I can't see your screen. Okay, yes, I can now. I can see your screen now.
Okay, good. All right, please, my unreserved apologies to all the participants. It was not intentional. I had the call via a client, and then I thought I could finish it on time before I come to this training. However, that is not the case, and then I am here late. So please, sorry, pardon me. Okay, so without wasting much of our time, as you can see what we have on the screen, today, I'm going to teach you, I'm going to blow your mind. I'm going to teach you things that every accountant is meant to understand, okay? Today, I'm going to be looking at, okay, source document, accounting source document, and how this source document translates into our books of original entry. Hello. And then from our books of original entry to our financial statement. Okay. So in those days, in our secondary schools and the universities, we have been taught of what is our accounting source document. Hello. So we agree that source documents are, you know, the traceable documents, okay, that every accounting record, okay, passes through. Okay, I just want to say it in a way that we will understand it. Even people who are not accountants will be able to understand. So source documents are what? Those documents, okay, that accounting information comes first before it can be further taken to the accounting accounting record. Hello, just give me 1 minute. Okay. So what are we saying? What we are saying is that once you have books, the accounting record that we have, okay, where we enter all our income, our sales, our expenses. So there is a place, the primary place where these documents are entered first, okay? Okay, before they can now be translated into accounting record. Before we can enter them into accounting record is what is called source document. Okay, meaning that for every information we have in the financial statement, for every information we have in our books of original entry, okay, they must be traceable towards the source document. And why is this thing very, very important? Okay, throughout my professional career and consulting services in outside there, I discovered that this has always been the problem of what? Of every CEOs, every business owners, okay? Apart from their bank statement, where the actual money goes out, where they receive the money goes out to the bank statement, they find it difficult to have a good source document. Let me tell you, before you make payments, right, there should be some document that comes, okay? Document that comes before a payment is being made. And after the payment is being made, we will now record them in the books of original entry. So here I'm going to be teaching you as accounting source document. I have them also developed in Excel, right? And then we are going to be looking at the books of original entry. That is our cash book, our creditors, record. That is what we call sales, purchasing day book, sales day book. Okay, all those things that we have been taught in the universities and in the classroom. How do we put them into practice? Okay, it's a very serious issue, and I want to encourage all accountants to note this thing and help your organization put all these books in order, so that your one thing with incomplete record, that is organization that do not keep proper books of account, is that they are exposed to tax audit, NRS tax audit, and when these things come, they find it difficult to get all these receipts. Okay, so I want to encourage even business owners to adopt what I'm going to teach you today, so that you'll be able to understand how to keep proper books of account, right? So one of the most important of them is what? We have a lot of them, but I just selected the ones that you cannot do without for every small business owner. So number one is what we call sales invoice, right? So what is sales invoice? A sales invoice, okay, is actually an invoice that, okay, that shows that we have sold goods or render services. Okay, and a typical sales invoice, of course, we have the type of description, the amount, and then where VAT is applicable, you put the VAT and then add it to the total, and then you have your total invoice. Okay, and in invoice, we have what we call pro forma invoice. Okay, a pro forma invoice, I didn't put it here because almost 95% of businesses in Nigeria makes use of invoice, and they use invoice. Some of them use invoice as even receipt. They also use invoice as pro forma invoice. But there is a very big difference between invoice, pro forma invoice, and what receipt, what we call cash receipt or official receipt. So now, which one is pro forma invoice? Pro forma invoice is that, okay, a candidate, a participant sees what BMC is doing. And I ask BMC, please, I discover that you do task consulting, you do training, you do this. Can you give us a pro forma invoice so that we can see what you have? So we'll send them everything that we do, based on what they have requested, and put our prices in that place. So that client there will now do what? Look at the pro forma invoice and say, and call us or send us email. So, no, please, can't you reduce this to this? Can't you give us discount? We are picking 5 things. We are picking 3 things. Can't you do this? Can't you do that? So we agree. After we have agreed, what happens? They will now request that we now give them invoice based on the agreed. Do you understand? So that they can now make payment. So when invoice is raised, it's assuming that that is the final invoice that the customer or that client is expecting to make payment. So, but sometimes pro forma invoice that does not have any changes can also serve as what? As normal sales invoice. So we say we issue it to customers or clients when services are rendered, goods sold, okay, and then we recognize revenue, okay. Once a customer accepts our invoice, whether they have made payment or they didn't make payment, that invoice we can recognize revenue at that moment. But that is why we understand the accounting basis, where we have the cash basis and what, and accrual basis, and all our account is prepared based on what, accrual basis. All right. So now, which one is now official receipt? So when a customer we can issue a customer an invoice, okay, an invoice now, and we will start doing training for the customer, start doing some services for the customer. As we are doing those services for the customer, right? Then maybe when we do a kind of a small report and let them know that it's time for them to pay. Once the customer pays money, that is when we will now issue the customer what? An official receipt. So issued upon receipt of payment. Are we okay? And it confirms collection and serve as what? Audit evidence supporting bank lodgement. Okay. So once a customer pays, either he pays as pays us in cash or makes a transfer, we always issue what? Receipt. These documents are very, very fundamental as far as audit practice is concerned. All right. So you cannot keep accounting record, you cannot keep any of the financial statement without backing it up with what? With all these source documents, right? So the next one, of course, is payment voucher. So as an accountant, once money leaves your table, once an invoice is once an expense request form is approved, right? So once an expense request form is approved, okay, then there is need for you to do what? To raise payment voucher. Now, let me explain something. For sales invoice, okay, and receipt, okay, we can say that both of them are for what? For when we make sales to the customer. However, we also have what we call purchases invoice. That is invoice from our vendor. Do you understand? So now invoice from the vendor will come after expense request form has come. Okay, after we have made those expense request form, and maybe from a particular unit of an organization. Okay, and then the vendor who is to render that service to us now brings their own invoice. So once that expense request form is raised and approved, then payment voucher can also be raised immediately for such expense request form. And once the payment voucher is approved, automatically it shows that money have left the organization. So for every 1 kobo an organization spends, for every 1 naira an organization pays to external vendor, pays to a vendor, okay, either as an external vendor or it is incurred by the staff of the organization, a payment voucher must be raised. Okay, and then I just put a simple control flow summary. Okay, for expenses flow, of course, there should be a request, okay, which is a request form, which I've just explained here. Okay, then it must go to what? To approval. Okay, so the request form should be approved. Then the next thing is for the person to bring what? Invoice. And the invoice is to what? Used to do what? To raise payment voucher. And from that, payment voucher, and then money is being paid. Now, for revenue, invoice, I still put invoice here. Do you understand? So that is now that invoice that we have issued out now. This one is for us as BMC, the one we have issued out to our customers, right? The one that we have issued out to our customers. Okay. Just give 1 minute. Okay, so sorry about that. Sorry about that. Let me continue. So I hope you can hear me. Please, if you can hear me, do me a thumbs up so I will know that you are following me and you can hear me. All right. So now, so for the revenue, okay, that is of course the invoice that we have given out, okay, to we giving receipts, okay, to the same customer and then to bank, right? We place it to bank, and that is that. All right, so let's quickly go to the templates properly. Okay, let's quickly look at the templates properly. So this is an expense request form. Okay, this is an expense request form for BMC Business School. This is an expense request form for BMC Business School. So every organization, so when I share this template with you, for those that will make payment, of course, you can change this, you can delete it and put your own logo, right? You can as well as change your addresses and that. And this is the expense request form. Okay, so you can have this for your organization. All right, so you can see the department is coming from, the project name, right? If it's there is need. Now item, you can enter the item, you can enter the description. Maybe for us here, it is expenses. We are talking about expenses, so we can say transport, the transport to maybe we can say Otako tax office. Okay. All right. So the amount, this is the staff now making that request, and maybe is 5,000, of course, and that is that. So at the end of the day, that will come, and then you also have the totals. Okay, you can of course get the totals of this by summing it up. Okay, we can have the totals of that by summing it up. Then it will give us total for that particular expenses, right? Okay, so that is that. So if you have this, you can put other information, maybe number 2, put all the things and put your date. This is all for expense request form. So please, I will encourage everybody to have this. It has been designed already. Okay, so you can print this thing out once you issue any particular expense request form. Enter each soft copy like this. You print it out, and then requisition made by made by, okay, made by who? So who is the staff that have made this requisition? It will come there, okay? The name of the person and signature. Then who is the person approving it, okay? So if there is threshold for approving expenses, probably maybe the manager will approve maybe between 100,000 and below. So you may not need this director's approval. Once the head of department or the manager approves, that is it, okay? All right, so that is for expense request form. So you are going to have this sent to you. The next one is after expense request form. The next thing that every organization, an accountant must have is what we call the voucher, all right? So this is payment voucher, right? And for every payment voucher, there must be a payment voucher reference number. Even the expense request form, you have to put the for easy of for traceability. The phone number, you put phone number 1, phone number 2. This is DMC Business School form 001. If your company is ABC Limited, ABC Limited 001 and all that. Okay. So we have the same thing. So what you have under the payment, the voucher, sometimes what I wanted to link it, but I discovered that sometimes what you raise here may not be what is approved, right? So what is approved at the end of the day, where money have left the organization, is what you are going to bring in as your what? As your payment voucher, right? So you bring in that as payment voucher and put order. So like for us here, payment voucher is approved by the principal partner, okay? And then who did we pay that money to? We bring it. So payment voucher tells you the actual movement of what? Of cash out of the organization. Once money leaves the organization, you must raise a payment voucher. Okay, so if FRS write you letters, they will tell you provide, or they'll give you a list of documents that you should provide. All right. So among all those documents that you should provide, what we are doing here are those documents that you must provide. Okay, they give reference to what happens in the financial statement. All right. So they give reference to what happens in the financial statement, meaning that for every item that we are going to enter into our template, there must be all these books of original entry, right? All these source documents must be in place, and then before it goes into the books of original entry. All right. So the next one is petty cash voucher. So for every expenses, okay, that is small in nature, all right? So it will be different from this requisition form. So if it is within the organization, within the staff of the organization, right, they can actually use petty cash voucher to enter all those like transport and all those small expenses within the organization, right? Okay, so and that is that. But when it comes to maybe payment to external vendor, we can use requisition form. Okay, so sometimes organizations do not have this petty cash. They will use the expenses requisition form to serve as both the vendors and as well as to serve as the one for the petty cash. But for good control, okay, for good accounting control, it's always good to have the one for the petty cash to be smaller, okay, to come into this place, while the one going to vendors should be used with this, okay. However, any of them, an expense and a payment voucher must be raised. Okay, whether it is a requisition or it is a petty cash, a payment voucher must be raised once money is being paid. Okay, so that is that. Then the next thing is what? Official receipt. Of course, I told you already when I was explaining that official receipt is telling us that really money has left the organization. All right. Sorry, the organization have received money, okay, from our customers. So once we receive money from our customers, the next thing we are going to do is to do what? Is to issue them receipt. Okay, so that's a very big difference between receipt and invoice. All right. Once payment is being received, what happens? The organization should give receipt. So it's in two ways. Okay. At one point, an organization is a customer. At one point, an organization is also a vendor. Do you understand? So whichever you see yourself, if you are a customer, you should know the one. That means you should be giving out invoices and all that. Okay. So a customer is expected to get invoice. Okay. All right. So, and then when payment is made, a customer is expected to be given what? To be given receipt. Okay. So, whereas the payment vouchers is internally, right, by the organization, and also petty cash voucher is also by the organization. So, you can as well, depending on the policy of the organization can also decide that the petty cash voucher should be used. The petty cash voucher should be used for normal voucher. So once a petty cash voucher is approved, okay, it is more like what? A voucher, right? And it can also be just for what? For request, okay, which will now eventually, be entered in another voucher again. All right, so please give me a little time again. I'm having some network hitches here and there. Let me just see what happens. It's like something is on somewhere. Please just give me one moment. Okay, so sorry about all these things. Okay, so we can continue. I know that our moderator was logged off and all that, so I think she's back. So Mercy, please confirm if you are in and if you can see my screen, and then if I can continue. All right. So the next is, of course, I've talked about the official receipt. So after this class, we are going to share this, okay? We may share this one to all of us so that we can have this, because it's very, very important that we have all these basic documents in our custody as accountants, okay? And also as a business owner. Just delete all this information and use your own, and that is it. All right, so having done this now, the next thing I'm going to do is to go into the template proper. Okay, is to go into the template proper. We still have other kinds of documents. Okay, we still have other source documents. Okay, but for now, these are the major ones. Okay, that for every organization must have this source document. Okay, to back up with the entries into the what? Into the books of original entries, and also into the financial statement. They are like a reference point Okay, if I show you anytime FIRS or NRS now, calls for audit, even index review, they will tell you bring voucher, bring payment receipt, and all that. And then, as a good accountant, okay, once you there's a time I was working as an accountant, and I discovered that at the end of the month, I will be seeing more than how many thousand, hundreds of transactions carried out without my knowledge. And that was in my first month. I wrote a memo. So please, I am not a, what's it called? So don't be look accountant. Okay. I'm not an accountant that it is after the transaction have happened, I will not come and start recording. No, 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 no. I'm a proactive accountant. I want to see the information happen when it's happening. I want to see the information as it's going on. Are we okay? Because if you do not know all those information, all those payments, how are you going to raise payment vouchers? How are you going to raise payment vouchers? How are you going to raise requests? Do you understand? So you must make it an understanding that your organization, for every payment, that you should have understanding of every payment, right? Every payment shouldn't pass through your nose. You are the accountant. If payments do not pass through you as an accountant, then you are not an accountant. Do you understand? So you are a bookkeeper. You are a bookkeeper. When the transactions finish, then they will call you. You now carry bank statement and start entering. No. You have to. The only thing you will do with the bank statement is reconciliation. Okay, you check your bank and check what comes in, and check in your cash book whether you have entered all of them. The expenses the same thing, so that you not carry out to your reconciliation. Don't go and be doing after the transaction have been taking place after one month before you start recording. No, record as the transactions occur. All right, and that will make you understand the beauty of accounting. Are we okay? Vis-a-vis our accrual basis. Okay, once invoice have been issued and the project have started, recognize revenue. Whether they pay you 10% or whether they pay you 40% or you recognize revenue immediately. And then when the project finishes, they pay you. You now do the same thing. You now recognize you will not even recognize it again. You only show the movement that the money has come actually and all that. All right. So this having said all this, I want to go into the template proper. So please, I want to confirm if I am on my own or I am with some people. If you are with me, please give me a thumbs up. Okay? Make my heart know that I am working with people. Please give me a thumbs up. Let me see. If I can see a thumbs up now, I will move on. Hello? Mercy, are you there? Hello?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Please, are you seeing any thumbs up from people? I want to confirm that.
Yes, I am. I am seeing the thumbs up.
Okay, all right, all right.
Sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I want to be sure. Okay, I'm giving you a premium package, right? And in the schools, in the universities, we have been taught the theory. This is practical in action. Are we okay? So please, make sure that you understand everything we are saying and ask your questions, all right? So I'm going straight to the template now, and then I will share the template so that we will get what we are doing. Okay, so this is the template. Please confirm if you can see the template. Hello, Mercy, can you see the template?
Yes, sir, we can see the template.
Thank you very much. So this is the template now that that we have designed for tracking your income and what expenses. Are we okay? So of course, this is the name of the school. Of course, when you get this template, you can change it to maybe Top Touch, okay, to any organization of the name of your organization, right? And then the same thing for those of you who have used our what's it called? Our payroll templates. We also have a commencement date. Okay. So now let me tell you something. How beautiful it is. Some of you your 2025 financial statement is scattered. Auditor is coming to you. You are running up higher and there. You are looking for how you can put your books in order. Okay, of course, those our participants who are in pre-books, I'm sure they know what we are doing in pre-books. You use pre-books to take your record and generate profit and loss account and all that. Now, for this Excel template, you use this same Excel template to do what? To record your information even 10 years ago. You understand? So, however, all you just need to do is to come here and enter the commencement date. So if the transaction that you want to use in this Excel start from January 2025, so that means you are going to put this to the what? January 2025. If you want to use it for this current year, 2026, then you are going to change this place to what? 2026. As I said before, even in our payroll template, there are a lot of things that we have done that you cannot do in this template to avoid you scattering the template. So we put a lot of securities, put a lot of password, you understand? Anywhere you go and it tells you that you cannot enter, just know that if we have allowed you to enter something on that place, it means that you are automatically going to scatter the template and you come back to us and say the template is not working. Okay, but I must give it to the people that are using our payroll template. Nobody has complained, all right? Okay, so that is that. Now, then reports. Which report you can get a monthly report, you can get a quarterly report, you can get 6 months report, you can get 1 year report. So as you are entering your transaction, maybe you have entered from January to March of 2025, and you want a report, so you can come and enter the report that you want. Say you want report from January to March. So the report will come. Even when you have the whole year and you just want maybe just 1 month, you just enter 1st of January to 31st January 20 to that particular year. So that's what this place is. Please try to understand it very, very well. All right. Okay. And then we have all this information here. You are not going to do anything to them. Okay. This has been configured. So here I'm already seeing that I have a cash balance, a negative cash balance. All right. I remember very well those days when I was working as an accountant. Okay. There's something that you need to do. When a payment comes to your table, if you do not know how much you have in your bank account, how will you approve it? These are some of the things that we met. You understand? So one certain time, my boss then, there is a lot of expenses, on the table. People come, they want to do this. Then my own is to raise the voucher. Don't be a voucher raiser and the expense request raiser. You raise and raise and raise, and you don't even know how much you have in your bank account. So with this our template, you'll be seeing, I'm having negative based on the transaction we are passing here. We are having negative balance of 350,000 naira. Do you understand? So this at a glance tells you what it looks like. So as an accountant, you are the image, the reflection. Your cash book is the reflection of what happens in the bank statement. So without going to the bank, you should be able to tell what is happening in your bank statement. That's why I said, don't be a bookkeeper. Don't be a bookkeeper. You understand that you only record after the transaction has been taken place. No, be a proactive accountant. Know what is happening in the organization. All right. Okay, so that is for that. Of course, if you want to go to any of the sheets, you can of course navigate them through these places. Just click on it, it will take you there. Like this is list. I want to go to list. I can click here. It will take me to list. The same thing as clicking on list. This is list. Okay, instead of clicking on here, if I want to access it very quickly, I can go to this place and click on expense report. I can click on expense report. It tells me this. All right. So let me go back to of course, if you right click at the edge, you can come back and click on any of them. Okay, and it will give you what you're looking for. All right. So here I'm going to list. Please take note of this. In this list, this is expenses list, non-current assets, project line. All right. So let me explain them as we go. For expenses list, this is your categories of expenses. Now it varies according to what your organization is into. Are we okay? So it's not cast on stone here. You can delete. Okay. You can delete. You can see I'm deleting. You can delete and add any of the expenses If it's a school, okay, you put the expenses that goes to school. You put them. You understand? Any expenses head you want, you can put them. Are we okay? And that is that. But if what we have had here is what you have, you can always put them this way. Are we okay? And you can also add. To give you space for you to even add as much as more expenses that you can. Then you cannot go beyond this. I don't know the kind of expenses you can have that will be more than what we have here. However, if you purchase this template, right, and you have any reason for us to re-customize for you, of course, we can extend that expense where you can go beyond and then add it and still add more things for you. Are we okay? This is not current asset. Of course, for your fixed assets, you can also change them. Okay, you can change all these ones, right? Okay, and then that depreciation rate, you can bring them in like this. Are we okay? Then this project line, like let me take for example, we here at DMC Business School, let's assume that we have government contract as a head of as an income head. We have private consulting as an income head, which is tax and audit. Okay, we have CAC and other corporate services. We have accounting and Excel templates. We have general training. All these things are like heads of revenue to DMC Business School, right? So the same thing can happen to you. If you are into sales of computer, you can change this place to what? Sales of computer, okay? Sales of computer, all right? Sales of laptop, you can put it laptop, okay? If you are into anything that gives your organization income, what do? You quickly come to this place and do what? And enter all those information. Are we okay? So that is so it can always change. So we use this list to enable you customize it to what suits your organization so that you don't tamper with the template. So every other thing in the template, there are places that you can enter information, there are places that you cannot enter information. So this will enable you to customize the template to your own organization. All right, good. Now, if you now have payment mode, okay, this payment mode is for both when you are receiving money and as well as when you are making payment for expenses. Okay, so we can receive money through cash. We can receive money through our OP or our money point. If you want to add, you have to come down here and add it. I can say we'll receive money through money point. You can also add money point. Okay, those of you that have more than one bank account, you can put your bank account here. Zenith is here as well. So Zenith Bank, okay, if you have UBA, you bring in UBA here. Okay, so this is the payment mode. So this place, remember, a bank account can be used for both payment and receiving of funds. So there's no need to change to make it to be say this one for no. This is the payment way. Either the money is coming to you through cash or the money is coming to you through what? Through any of these means. Okay. Now maybe you have some customers that may be in that if you are to bring in your 2025 financial report into the template, all right? So maybe there are people that are owing you, okay? Your customers, your receivables, okay, that are owing you. So you can actually bring in their names inside this place. So maybe ABC Limited is a company that DMC has consulted as at last year and they are owing us. What do? We'll bring in their names here. XYZ will procure the tax clearance for them last year and they're here to pay us. So what do? We'll bring their name here. Are we okay? Then maybe if it's a government agency that is owing us, we'll bring the name of the agency here. This is for your customer list. So you can have as many customers as you have. That is customers that you do business with on credit. It's not anybody that just come to you, pay you cash, you now start entering them here. No, you don't need them. Are we okay? So this is only to track them, to track people that are owing you. Your orga can, in fact, for schools, you make use of this place very well. If you are running a school, any child that comes automatically is your customer because they will be owing you. So when they make payments, you enter them, so their record will be reducing. You can use the place as their parents name. You understand? When they pay money, it will be reducing and all that. So this is for what? For vendors. There are also people that you may have that must have rendered services to you and you are owing them. If there are people that you render services to and you are owing them, what do you do? That is where you also bring their names in this place, okay? And this is your under your payables. Okay, so if you have payable that you have from last year, what do? You bring it into this place. If you have receivable that people that are owing you from last year, this is their names. You bring them under this place. Okay. Now, this is the income statement. So as you are entering your information, this place automatically will be coming up. You don't need to enter any information there. Okay. However, if you have what we call inventory, okay, if you have inventory, you can bring in your inventory under this place. That is the opening inventory. For those of you that have a stock item that deals with item that you sell, okay? So if you have inventories, you bring the inventories in this place, and you have the closing balance of inventories, you can also bring them in this place. All right? Okay, so just give me 1 minute again. I'll come. All right. So, okay, so let's continue. Let's go ahead. Let me reshare my screen. I hope you are seeing my screen here. So can you see my screen? So Messi, confirm if you can see my screen, please.
Yes, we can see it.
All right, thank you very much. So for this income statement, so this is just whatever you are going to be entering. Okay, you don't need to come here and do anything. It will be populating on its own. All right, so you don't do anything on this. So this is what I changed in that place. So it changes like that. So let me go back to my own page and change this again. So this is BMC BMC Business School. Right? Good. So that is that. So we'll come back to income statement. Fantastic. All right. So, and you see, this is the report is from January to December to February 2028. That is what I have chosen to be my reporting date. You understand? So if you have entered January to June and the reporting date is saying January to February, every transaction will not come out, so that you will not go there and say, where are the transactions that enter? Where are the transactions that enter? You're your own. You must come to this place and do what? And put the right reporting period. Okay. Okay. So let's go. The next one is opening balances. All right. Now, hello, Messi, please look out for these people and mute them, please. Please, if you are on a call, kindly mute yourself. Okay, if you are on this call, kindly mute yourself. It's very important for us, okay? All right, so this is our opening balances. Now, these opening balances takes care of only three items. Three items. The same people, look at when I was entering those cash, those are bank. See, as I increase them, look at them, see UBA, see Zenith, see Money Point I added, right? All of them will come here. Do you understand? So, so you don't need to do anything in this place. If you come here to type, Zen will tell you that, let me type something and see, and go out. Okay, so I will, excuse me, please, this. Okay, please just give 1 minute. Let me.
Okay, can we hear me? Can we all hear me?
Yeah, so I'm back. Let's continue without wasting time. So fantastic. So what you just do here is to come and enter all the opening balances here. Look at your opening balances. So these opening balances, you enter them by yourself. Okay, so your opening balance from last month, okay, if you have a cash balance, you put it in this place. Now your cash balance is 3,000, you bring it in. Okay, 30,000, and then your OPE balance. Okay, you know we are reporting in February. That means as at beginning of January, because our report is saying from January to beginning of January, you bring in all your opening balances, right? Then you also bring in, look at the heading. The heading is cash and cash equivalent. Now, the next one is what? Receivable balances. That is all those are customers that we have from the beginning, right? That we have from last year, probably from 2025, okay? If they have balances with you, you bring them in. And how do you do that? You just go here and select all those balances. So see them here. If I go there and change under my list or add anyone, maybe I'll add top limited, okay? And I'll add let's say let's say Imo State government. So once I add this, okay, so under this place, under here, if you go to this place now, you can see they are there now. So we have top limited Imo State government. If you change all these things, they will also change. Please take note of that. So you come here, you select which of them, and we say Sokoto State government, and you put whatever amount you think that they are owing you previously. Okay, so that when they make payment, the payment will reflect that they have made payment. So that is how you bring in the opening balances of your what? Of your receivables. The same thing for your payables, people that you are owing, right? From previously. So you bring them in. Where you don't have any of these things, please, you don't need to do anything. You leave this zero. You understand? You leave this zero like this. So don't go and manufacture figures. Those of us, those times when we are fighting ICANN, when the thing, you know, when the financial statement, statement of financial position did not balance, we manufacture figures, Abby, so that the thing will balance. Please don't manufacture figures in this one if you don't have anybody owing you. All right. So this is how to bring in. So for the opening balances, what you are bringing in here is simply your cash and cash equivalent, which is your cash balance, all your bank balances. You bring them in here. Okay. And then your receivables, that's your customers. Okay. And then your payables balances, which is your what? Which is your vendors. All right. So that is that. Now, let's go. So we have what we call cash register. Okay. We have what we call accrued revenue. Now, what is the meaning of accrued revenue? And what is the meaning of cash register? So cash register is used when, if I delete these figures now, all this dark something you are saying will be gone. So if I delete this, okay, so I need to I need to unlock this so that I'll be able to remove all these things. So just give me 1 minute. I have to do.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me? We can't hear you anymore.
Oh, please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay,
Yes, we
thank you
can
very
hear you
much.
now.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, so this is your cash register. Now, what is the work of the cash register? What you do under the cash register, this is like your tier account that we know. In those days, our cash book, it has date, particulars, follow amount, date, particulars, follow amount, you understand? So in this case, what we have just done here is that we have this area as the receipt side, and then this other area as the payment side. Okay. Let me quickly do something. Okay, so I freeze the template before, so I just unfreeze it now. All right. So now, if you look at, it's divided into two. Now, you remember I told you that when I started, I told you that the payment method, right, or payment mode is for both the payment side, right? Receipt or payment mode is both for making payments and at the same time for receiving funds. Okay, so the difference between this template now and the normal fee account that we know, the normal cash book that we know, is that there are certain things that are unique for both of them. So, and what are those certain things? For example, let me delete this. Okay, let me delete this so that we can understand it properly. Let me delete all this. Good. So, what? Okay, so sorry, please, so sorry about that. Okay, there are a lot of things we are doing in the office, and then so please, okay, let's concentrate now. So now we're talking about the cash register, right? So this cash register has our receipts, and it has this area as our what? As our payment side. Okay. Okay. So now what happens? This is here under this place. You can choose any of these banks to check what you have as your closing bank balances. So if you click Touch Bank, it will tell you that you have that as a balance. You have a Zenith Bank. You see, Zenith Bank added it. There is no any amount there, okay? And UBA, there is nothing there, okay? So this is what you do under this place, all right? So now, here, from the payment method, okay, from here, so this payment method here, if I remove this touch bank now, okay, now you see from here, there is nothing here that I've chosen in this place. So if you watch here, between here till this date, if you are seeing it from cell E, F, G, and H, okay, they are common to both sides. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. They are common to both sides. What do I mean? If I want to record transactions, cash transactions, okay, this place is used purely for just cash transactions. So if I have a cash transaction, a client now that paid me for processing tax clearance, as I tell the person, I'm going to process tax clearance and my professional fee is 200,000, the person pays me instantly and say, Mr. Donald, please do this thing. I need it urgently. The person pays me 200,000 for my professional fee, right? How do I record it? I will come here and then enter what? Enter the amount, 200,000, right? So what I enter that 200,000, then the receipt, I'm going to issue receipt to the person. So the receipt number or invoice number, I'll enter it here. So this is the essence of doing this thing that that we are doing, okay? So I'll enter that receipt number here. Then is the customer an outright payment customer? I may not need to put the customer's information here anymore. Do you understand? Now, the next thing I want to do is to now select, okay? Next thing I want to do is which product, what did I sell to this person? I can still decide not to, is tax clearance. I just say tax clearance processing. All right. So which date is this? So I'll put, maybe the thing happened yesterday. Yesterday's date is 26. So it will be 26, 02, 26. Okay. So now, what I'll put here is, we'll say 02, 26, 2026, right? And that is what we have. So 26 February 2026. Now, we now come back here and say transaction details, right? You can also put the narration, the same thing that we have in this place. We can also come here again and enter that information that the transaction is. You can put it in details. Processing of 2025 tax clearance certificate and all that. We just put it in this place, which is also in line with what we have already gotten from here, right? So the next thing is we now come back to this place and said what account head is that, okay? So in this account head, we put the account head that the transaction is. So if our account head, let me see our list. So what is the account head we have? We can say sales of laptop, right? It will be based on what you have. If you're having sales of laptop, you can bring in sales of laptop under the account head, right? So which is because what we are doing is we are receiving money. So anything, if it says of laptop, we put it here, but we are saying it's consulting. So we can say private consulting. Please give me 1 minute. Let me answer this call, please. Okay, so please pardon me. So let me continue. So here you enter the account head based on what you have classified your expenses to be. Okay, so if what I have classified my expenses to be is based on what I have here, which is let me look at my list, what I have in my list. Okay, so my list is maybe private consulting, tax and audit. So I'll come back there, okay, and put private consulting. Okay, then tax and audit. So, and that is that for this. So the next thing is that I have this, the mode of payment. How did this person make payment to us? So I will say, okay, the person paid us through the Zenith Bank, right? And that is that. So the next thing is products. Okay, so and that is so that means what I'm entering now is for receiving of money. Do you understand? So everything from here, once I reach here, I am done with this area. I am done with what I have in this area. Okay, so I have received that money and look at it this way. All right. So if it is when I'm making payment, of course, you cannot use this same line for making of payment. If you want to make payment, you will now come back again, but this time you will now start from this date, now start entering this way. Okay, from this date as well, you now start entering it going this way for you to enter any payment that you have made. Okay, so let's also look at it again. Assuming I made a payment, so what I will just do is I also enter maybe this same date. Okay, this same date, 02 26 26. So this same date, I made a payment. And what is that payment? I will type it here. If I want, I will type it here. If I don't want the narration full, I will not bring it here. Are we okay? Remember that this place is for when we are for the receipt side. So it is from this date, okay, that you can start for the payment side. So we'll come back here and enter the transaction details, which is maybe transportation to NRS, for example, right? Because this person has paid me for GCC, right? Then I'll come here and I have made that payment. I can also put transport, okay? And then I'll come here. Good. So what I will just do here is to choose the expenses. Good. Now, which expenses is it that I am paying for? You know those expenses that we have entered already. This is where we'll come back and choose those expenses that we are to choose. So now what I'm talking about is what? Transportation. So I'll come here and pick my transport and travel. Let's see. Local transport expenses. So I bring it in. All right. So now this one, where did I make the payment from? Okay, I will say that, okay, I made it from my Zenith Bank, right? Because Zenith Bank that I use in receiving that. Okay, and then here again, I'll come back here again and choose. Okay, so this one is for this local transport and expenses. We also design it in a way that it will track, the template will track both the expenses related to that particular project that we're talking about. So I can come here and choose that it is what? Private consulting and audit. Okay. And then here is transaction type. Now, under transaction type, we have also put it to be that if it is like now, the person paid us, this person paid us immediately, paid us 200,000 naira instantly. So what do? We simply click on what? Cash base. Are we okay? So once we click on cash base, It simply means that we are not having any vendor or customer like that. And whenever we choose anything, we put in a way that this flag will come, meaning that I have choose, if I have got to choose that it will be Akura, it means that I am going to put the name of the customer who I am going to make this maybe the vendor, because it's payment that I'm doing, and as the vendor, I'm going to select that vendor in this place, right? So for here, I'm going to put it that it is what cash basis. So I don't need to put anything here. So what is the receipt or PV number? Anyone that you want to put in this, you can put two of them. If I have receipt number, you can put it maybe DMC, whatever, you put slash, then the PV number, whatever, on that same document, and that is that. If you have any form of reference, even the request, you can also bring it in that place. So what are we doing here? What we are doing here is that for you to use this cash register, it is for only transactions that are for what? Cash, that will receive cash immediately. Number one. And we use this place to receive cash from customers that we are owing us before. So whenever that customer pays us, we come to this cash receipt register and collect the money that they are paying. In fact, this place is for what? Movement of cash. Once cash, real cash, is coming into the organization, you come here and record it. Once real cash is going out of the organization, you come here and record it. And again, I said something here. You see, I cannot come back on this same line again to start entering information on this place. Maybe now I am receiving money. I cannot come here again. That's why I have designed this thing in a way that once you use a particular line, like here we have used this line for payment, this place will be shaded dark so that we will not come back here. We will not be tempted to come back here to enter information again. Let's assume we will not receive money, okay, cash money, just like this one we entered in this place, and the money is maybe from somebody who is owing us before. All right. But before we do that, let us go to our accrued revenue and look at what we have in that place. Now, for accrued revenue is used to enter the information of the customer or the for the customer who is paying for the who is not paying immediately, whose business or whose transaction that we have done for the person is going to be paid later in the future, right? So, for example, we have these two people from our last account that, okay, this person is actually owing us, this person is actually owing us 10,750,000. That is after adding the VAT component of the transaction, right? The real money is what? 10 million naira. Maybe the trading that we have done with Sokoto state government, and the account head is, of course, is related to revenue from government contract. All right. So let us now say, okay, we want to receive money. Okay. Look at the dates that we have put in this place. That is in January 10th. So, of course, when you are receiving this money from this Sokoto state government, you are not expected to go and use a date that is far, like that comes before this 10th. So it should be anything after 10th, maybe on 15th January. That is when this person has now paid us for, maybe they now paid full money, the 10 million naira, right? So where do we enter it? That's when we now go to what? Cash register and enter the information. If we have a new person that is doing business with us and the person is not coming from the opening balances that we have, like now in this February, we have somebody who is doing business with us and the person is not paying immediately. So this is where we record them. So this is for us what we known as our sales day book, which is credit sales. When we sell on credit, this is where we enter them. So let me enter one, meaning that we are recognizing the money, okay, but actual cash have not been recognized. We have not seen actual cash come into the to the account, but we recognize the revenue in line with what Accrual concept. Okay, so let me do this. Then after, I will go back to cash register and now receive money from them. Okay, so what I will do here is that today is 26, right? So I can just use any date. I can say February 02, when I say 20th, okay, and 26. Okay, so now this time we must have a customer. Let's say this is a new customer now, and this new customer is not among the customers that we have here, but this new customer came and we have done all the documentation. I have sent the invoice. The person have accepted and say, okay, Mr. start work, right? I have given us letter of appointment and all that. So we have started, and this person's name. Let us go to the list and put the person's name. Under here, I purposely do not want to use this one. It's a new person. So I can say fresh customer. It depends on the name of the customer now. I can say fresh client. So as fresh client, then when I go to accrued revenue, when I go here, you will see that fresh client has entered here now. So I'll put what? Fresh client. Now, what kind of job am I doing for this fresh client? I'll click here and choose that, oh, what this client has asked me to do for him is actually maybe, let's say, consulting, tax, and audit, right? The person has not paid us anything. Then the invoice that we issue to the person, you type in the invoice number based on what I've taught you guys, right? Now, private, what the person is doing for us is what we're charging the person is 500,000, for example. We put 500,000. Now you have to calculate the VAT, right? And so to calculate the VAT, you can actually drag this one down. So the VAT automatically will be calculated, right? So we purposely leave it open because if you are not qualified to collect VAT, you don't need to put VAT here. You understand? In line with the new tax law, if your revenue, you know that your revenue will not be up to 100 million naira for a whole year, then you are not going to calculate VAT. You're not going to ask the person to pay this total amount inclusive of VAT. If for any reason you add VAT for the person, then you must remit the VAT element to NRS. Take note of this. That's why I didn't do this thing in a way that when you enter the information, automatically it will come here. So you can manipulate this place on your own. So that means the invoice that you are going to raise for this man is going to be 500,000 naira. So if I go back to the invoice that you have raised, I am going to be seeing this number in that place. Are we okay? And when we put it there, it will be what we have. Now, if there is any reason why you collect VAT, you must give that VAT back to what? The NRS. So this is this now. What does this mean? Let me quickly show you something. Very quickly. Let me quickly show you something. Let's go to, this is for credits. Now, look at this receivable management. So your receivable management will tell you those that are owing you, those customers. Look at fresh clients now. Fresh client has entered this place now. So this is the money that fresh client is owing us now. And this one is also owing us this amount. Okay. Have you seen that? Even when money have not received. So receivable management is just a report that tells you what happened. It's a report. You look at this place, I call it a report. Good. Receivable management report, right? You don't do anything in this place. So this is list of all our customers who your boss can ask you, come, let me get the list of all the clients and what they are owing us. And that is what your receivable management will do for you. Okay? As at a particular period. So if you have entered the information from January to December, Just come here and enter the report period, the report year. What happens? Then you print it, and then those of us that have to work in Excel, you print it automatically. Look at it there. It will be in that place. Then you print it. Maybe you can, convert it to PDF and share with your boss in an email, or you print it out and give to your email, or give to your boss rather. All right. So that is that. So our accrued revenue is used to enter people that are owing us. All right. So this one, this business school, I put this when I was teaching a special clients. You understand? Some set of people. So now this one was owing and he paid. All right. So let us quickly go and check our income statement. Look at our income statement. Okay. So on our income statement, you can see we are having a credit transaction of what? Of 1,500,000. We have not had any cash transaction that has come. So let us look at this. Look at this. Look at it there. Okay. So these two people are coming from people that were owing us before. Okay. And then and they have not actually paid. Have you seen that? So we have these two who have not actually paid us, and that is what we have in that place. All right. So then let's go immediately and see if we want to bring out this, we want to receive money now from the person that was the name of that client is here, we call it fresh client, right? So we want to receive money, cash from this fresh client. So that will go under what? Cash register. That will go under cash register, right? And when you go under cash register, you will use this part, okay? Because this is receipt. That's the left-hand side is your receipt, right? So what you will do, we are receiving, how much is that money that the person who had? 500,000. So let's assume we are now receiving the 500,000 naira, the whole of it. Okay, so of course we put the invoice number, and then who is that customer, right? Is what? Fresh client. Fresh client is there, right? Good. And what project did we do with fresh clients? Is we say is a private consulting and cars, right? Then the date. So let's check what date did we put here. Well, it had to be a date, at the front. So we put on 20th. So it may be like after 20 on 25th. Fresh client paid us. So 25th, 26th. So and we'll have this. All right. So, and that is that. Hello. So the next thing is, if you want, you can actually describe this, okay? Which we have already talked about in this place. So if you like, you give it details, being payment or receipt from fresh client, blah, 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 blah. Just mention all those things, right? Then here, account head, okay? You can also choose, of course, it's not an expenses, so we are not picking any expense head here, right? So where did we receive this money from? Maybe it is through our OPay or any of our accounts. We just choose that, okay? Then as we have that, it has, that's it. So here is the project or department that this thing happens. Of course, we'll come back here, and then okay, here we can also choose here. Okay, we can choose here to be I'm coming. We can choose receivable. We can choose receivable here because he was existing before. Please, because he was existing before, we'll choose receivable so that our receivable will be it will be recognized. So let me see. This is payable. Good. So we use receivable here. Fantastic. So, and that is that. So then we'll say we receive through OPay, and then we'll come back here. Okay, and we are using same thing here, right? So now the question now is this transaction type that we are doing now, he said, is for what? Vendor. Of course, we are not using anything that has to do with this vendor. Okay, so please just pardon me. I'm having so many calls. You know, this is a very critical time for this training. All right. Okay, so that is that. So we have recorded that. Okay, so the same explanation that we have done goes with what? The credit expenses, right? So these are the people that were owing us before. So if they are now making payments, we now go to we are go to cash register. This cash register is for both credit credit sales and credit purchases. Okay, that is for both our customers and our vendors who are now paying cash later. You understand? In fact, the most important thing that is necessary here is the mode of receiving that money. Because as at the time the transaction occurred here, as at the time the transaction occurred here, we have already recognized that transaction in this place. So that's why, let's, for example, there is somebody that have maybe done a repair for us, okay, and the vendor's name is there. So, and we didn't pay the person, you know, immediately. So it is here that we are going to enter the transaction. Okay, so let me take, for example, if I have maybe on a first, or let me say on 10th February, right? So, and we have a vendor who have supplied us something. Okay, so these are the only two vendors we have. We can also go and add more vendors to this. Okay, let us assume that Ray Professional has supplied us a particular services. Okay, maybe this Ray Professionals has let's look for one expenses that the person has done for us. Maybe he has done internet and other subscriptions. Okay, we sublet it and the person has given us data. This, for example, right? Good. So we enter it and we want to tie this. We want to tie these expenses to any of these our project income. If we decide that, okay, this internet and other subscriptions is for everybody, we can't tie it to any particular project, then we are not selecting any project. We leave it empty like this. Do you understand? And so you enter the invoice number. But if the whatever this person is doing for us is tied to a particular project that we have received money for, then you select that particular project, right? Good. So then the essence is that the templates are going to show you where the template will give us report about project, okay, in a project manner. So by the time we select a particular project, it will give us the expenses that has been spent on that particular project. You understand? And then you can also see the income from the home template, and you will see the money that have generated from that. So from there, you can actually compare and know that this project consumed a whole lot of money. You understand? So you know whether you have a profit on a particular on each project, right? Okay, so that is that. So invoice number based on the invoice that you have entered. Okay, then this someone that maybe this amount is 30,000. Okay, we don't put that 30,000 there. All right. So, and that is that. So what does it mean? Remark, if you like, you put remark, if like, you leave it. Okay. What does it mean? It means is that this is internet service. Okay. Internet service for maybe for February. This person is giving us the for February, and we are testing it until after the end of February before we will pay this person. Okay. So what does that mean? It means that by February, okay, so by This is February, okay, 10th 02. Okay, so by February, maybe end of February, somewhere in March, we now want to do what? Admit, we now want to make this payment. Okay, so and that is that. So now, how does this place looks like? So what you just do is to go to your let's say this is payable management. Look at payable management. Okay, so in your payable management, we are supposed to have, this is from January to February. So this is supposed to be there. So let's look at the date we put in that place. Under so this is supposed to be it's February, right? So have 10th 02 26. 10th 02 26, right? So we have great professionals. So this 30,000. So when we go to this place, payable management, that's supposed to be here. So it's based on that our but we're not supposed to do anything here at all, right? It pops up on its own. So I will look at it and see what happens to the dates, okay, before we release this template out. So is this date that's the issue, right? So we have we say is we can say okay 02, right? 10, right? 2026, or we can just say 26. Okay, so this is it. Okay, I will reformat this. Okay, so that is so normally once we do that, we are going to have it. Okay, it's there now. Very good. So is the date that's the issue. All right. So look at it. So you can see if you didn't put your date properly, the Excel will configure it to see only date in that place. So if you didn't put your date properly, it will not be there. So automatically, once you enter the information of your creditors, right? People that you are owing, the vendors that have supplied a particular goods, a particular service to you. Once you enter them in this place, right? So your receivable management will help, your payable management will tell you what is remaining. And whenever you make payments, their closing balances will be doing what? Will be reducing. Are we okay? And that is that. Then the next one is let's look at our expense report. Let's look at our expense report. Now, look at our expense report. So any expenses that we have done, look at that internet that we have just entered. Look at it, it has entered here. Even when we have not paid it, because we are recognizing the expenses in accrual basis. Are we okay? Please take note of that. Now, look at here. You can actually select, you see, it is in all. Okay, if I decide to choose the expenses that has to do with CAC, so let's check. There's no any expenses that have to do with CAC. So if you come here and choose any particular expenses, maybe corporate training, and there's no any expenses that have to do with that, automatically you will not have any expenses in this place. So that you don't come and say, you are posting expenses that is not showing. Remember, when we are posting the expenses, when we are doing this under the this place, you see here, under this project, we didn't tie it to a project. I left it empty. So if I choose a particular project that this thing is tied to, let me take, for example, if I choose that, okay, this expenses that we have come is tied to corporate accounting services, it means by the time I go to this place and I choose, okay, this private corporate, if I go, that is when it will come. Look at it, it has come now. Have you seen that? It's in that place now. So if I have not done this, I am not going to see it. Take note of that. If I have not done this, I'm not going to see it in that place. So I must choose I must link expenses to a particular head so that by the time I want to have a report on that particular head, on each of the heads, so it can come. But if, look at this all, I configure it in a way that if you mistakenly did not take it to a particular head, if you choose all, it will also come out. So it means that anyone have the 30,000 will also come. Okay, let us choose a different expense head now. Let me say CAC. You go and see now, that money will not be there because we didn't put it under CAC. So this is to help us, for those of us who are into different projects. You are doing projects in Kano, you are doing projects in Kaduna, you are doing projects in Abuja, you understand? So, and you want to recognize the income and as well as track the expenses to that, okay? This is configured for such projects, right? And it's also used for, so it means that you may decide not to assign any expenses to a particular head. You understand? Then when you now come here, you just use all. Then all will give you everybody in everywhere. Are we okay? And that is that. Okay. Now for non-current asset, I explained this one before. So what you come here to do is just to you're not doing anything here. It's just to show when you dispose an asset, right? You come here and enter the asset that you have disposed. And also when you have the cost, you come here and enter the cost. All right. And then if you have any depreciation, you also put it. So I took my time to also give you a comment on any of these places that you want to do something. All right. So if we have done this, okay, so what we just do is just to go to, let me check our income statement, right? And see what we have there. Okay, so our income statement is there. And then if you look at this, all those expenses that we have, it has now increased. And now we are now having other operating expenses. We are now having a net profit of this, right? And then when we go to this place to look at our product, we are having this. Okay, so we have not had any money that come cash. So let us even go and receive cash. Okay, let us go and do a transaction that will give us cash transaction. So so far so good. Moderator, before I do cash transaction, let me be sure that people are following us. You can give me maybe 2 or 3 questions. Let me attend to that before we continue. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Donald. That was a very insightful and very educational aspect of this session. So please, moving forward, for all of us that have questions, now is the time for you to come and ask your questions. That is if you have been following. Please ask your questions. Please provide us with your questions. You have 2-3 minutes to ask questions. So the floor is open. You can choose to leave it in the comment box or you can choose to raise your hand and you will be attended to. So please, now is the chance, now is the opportunity to ask your questions. We are waiting. Nobody has any question? Not even one? Are we sure?
So check the chat and let's check, please, so that we don't have time. Don't have much time, so we can wrap up.
From the chat here, I can't see any questions. So probably if you can see from your end, sir, because I can't see any from my end here.
Okay, somebody says, please, how can I get access to the platform? Okay, the person have sent the phone number to add. Okay, are you not promoted?
Okay, please, the person should please re-forward re-forward the person who asked how can you be added to the platform. Please re-forward the phone number so we can add you, because I can't see it. I think I was logged out at some point, so I can't see most of the previous messages that we had in the chat box. So please re-forward the phone number so we can add you to the WhatsApp platform. Thank you very much. Also, if you dropped a question earlier and you still want it answered, kindly re-forward it again to the chat box so we can attend to it.
Okay,
I think
somebody
for now.
asked a question here. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
No, sir, go ahead. Like, if you can see the questions, just help me.
Okay, good.
Good.
So, somebody's asking, says, request to approval, to invoice, to voucher, to filing. Filing where, please? Of course, filing to, if you are operating a manual kind of documentation, right? So you have to go and open a file for that expenses, and you file your document, file all those things in your filing, right? That's the filing we are talking about here, right? So because for every request, approval, invoice, vouchers, you must file them appropriately, okay? So that when the external persons come, the authorities come like NRS, when they come to you, you give them that document, okay, and show them that this is where we have filed all our expenses. So that's the filing we are talking about here. We're not talking about any other filing. Thank you very much for that. All right, somebody says here, very educative. Thank you very much. We appreciate all that. Please, how do we access the templates? Okay, the templates is 10,000 naira for non DMC MEP members, and 5,000 naira for DMC MEP DMC members. All right. I think for now, that is the only questions I have here. Okay. So thank you very much. So let me quickly go. Let's confirm if you can still see my shared screen so that I can move ahead, please.
Yes, sir. I can see your shared screen.
Okay, thank you. So I want to just enter one cash transaction so that we can illustrate that. Okay, so we can illustrate that. Okay, so now let's go and enter a cash transaction. And this time I want to say I've received 5 million. Okay, let's use another number, maybe 4,500,000. 4,500,000. And invoice, of course, you have to put the invoice. And then, because we know it's a cash transaction, so we may not put the customer's name. Now, the question now is, what type of projects has we done? So this time now, we want to use general training that we have done. And the date of this training is today's date. So 02 27, right? 26. Okay. So, and then, okay, so, and we have that. So now, we will now come back here, account head. We don't need account head here because it's a cash transaction, right? So the next thing we need to do is to quickly go to the project, and we also say the project is so what kind of transaction is this? So it's cash based. So we say is what is cash based, right? And that is that. Okay. So and so now look at it. Once you have chosen information, okay, about is a cash. Okay, so you know this one is not coming from a customer that is owing us. It's a cash transaction. So you see all these places, hence it has dark, mean that we cannot enter any information here. Okay, so what we are entering starts from here and end from mode of payment, please. and a mode of payment. Let us choose how do we receive this money. This person, the money came through the net bank. So I have entered a cash transaction. Okay, so a cash transaction comes from general training, and we don't have the name of the customer because the person is paying us what? Is paying us cash. And that's it. We have entered that. Okay, so let us quickly go and check our home page and see what we have there. Okay, so now from here, our income statement. Good. So from the income statement, the cash sales are supposed to be here. Let's see. Let's go back to our, yes, we're already in the income statement. Let's look at here. So the cash transaction is not yet here. So let's see what happened. It's here under cash. Yes, cash received. We put this. Okay. So we are not putting this. We have gotten this. So we have gotten that. And then, of course, is a cash base. So we'll come here and we have chosen this project, where it's coming from. The project is coming from, we say general training. We have chosen this before. And here we choose cash base, right? And that is that. So let's check. This is our income statement. Okay, our cash base. We are supposed to have the cash base. The money we have gotten from the cash supposed to come here now. Okay, so you can see the 450 cash transaction is there now. So how did we do that? So let's go back to revenue. So we said cash register. So in this cash register, what we just did was that we said is the client paid us immediately, and the client is actually the client is actually paying the money instantly. It's not like someone that is going to be credit payment. So as the client is engaging us for general training, they are paying our 4.5 million outright there. So what do? You enter it here, and then this is general training, which is what I have chosen from here. Okay, so I've chosen general training. I'm coming. I've chosen general training. This is general training. That's what I've chosen. And I put the date that is today. Then this transaction is not important. Now, account head, okay, very important. So this is why it was not showing that time. So we didn't choose the account head. So you must choose the account head that you want the either revenue that you are dealing with or the expenses that you are dealing with. You must choose the account head that you want it to report. So for this income that's coming from general training, it must come from you enter the account head. We say, okay, this training now, what will we call it? We say, let's look up, let's check. I'm looking for revenue that we have created. So look at revenue items. So see revenue, account, and Excel template. So see revenue, general training. That's what we say we have done for the person. So I also choose general training. So it is when you didn't choose anything here, and as I didn't choose anything here, that's why the thing did not come. So once you choose that general training and choose the bank that the thing came from, which will say is Zenith Bank, automatically I will fill all these. These ones are not really important to it, right? And then once we pick this, and that's it. Once you choose this, whether you choose this cash base, which you have already choose, whether you choose it or you didn't choose it, you must tell the system where the account is posted to. So this is used for both what's it called, for expenses. Now, if it is for where we are receiving money for an existing debtor, you understand, for an existing debtor, that is when we use this receivable. You understand? So that's what we mean. So that's what we are doing. But if it is an outright one, so we'll not choose the revenue head that we want to take it to. So if it is for payment, an outright payment, we choose the account head, we choose the type of account head, the type of expenses that we are choosing. Then if it is for clients that a vendor whom we are owing before, you understand, and it is now that we are paying the that particular vendor, then when we come here, we now choose payable. It's no longer going to be receivable. I hope you understand. So the major difference between cash register is that here is for real movement of money. You understand? Money is actually leaving the organization, or money is coming into the organization. Whereas this one here, which is accrued revenue, is for what? For credit sales. Okay, clients that we have rendered services to that are not paying us immediately. So we use this to track it. Okay, and then for credit purchases, which is for clients that we have that is vendors that have supplied or render services to us, and we are not paying immediately. So we use this place to do that. So let us just quickly look at the income statement now. So if you look at the income statement, okay, so you can see this is credit transactions. It can be recognized even when we have not received the money. And now look at the cash, it has recognized now. So total we now have the 6 million, and then all the expenses we have had at the end of the day we now have 5.470. So if you look at this place as well, which is the summary, you will see that in the summary we have look at this, general training 4.5, which is cash, and then we now have this 1.5. Total we are having is still 6 million. All right, okay, so that is that. Let's see if we have people that have questions. If not, Mercy, I hand over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was a wonderful session. I learned a lot. I don't know about you guys, but I did learn a lot. And like I said, our platform is one of a kind. There aren't so many platforms that will give you this kind of knowledge for free. So you should really appreciate us. But I can't see you people appreciating the speaker. I mean, he has been talking for close to 2 hours now. I mean, a thumbs up, a hot reaction, just something to encourage him, because you're not paying money for this. So please encourage him, give him his thumbs up, give him his flowers, give him his accolades, you understand? Clap for him, he deserves it. Thank you very much, Sarah. Thank you so much for the knowledge shared. So like he said, if you have any questions, if you have anything on your mind or any contribution, now is the time for you to give your contributions. So please, the floor is open. Raise up, indicate by raising your hand, go to the reaction emoji, and under it you see the raise up your hand. Please raise your hand if you want to ask a question, or if you're shy and you can't talk, you can drop it in the box, the chat box. So now we're going to give you the next 10 seconds. Let me say 10 seconds. If there are no questions, or if you don't get any questions, then we are going to move on and properly close the class. So your time starts now.
Okay, my name. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Munar.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I want to know.
Mr. Munar, we can't hear you. We can barely hear you. Your network is breaking.
You can't really hear me.
Yeah, we're trying to. Okay, so I think it's best you just leave your question in the chat box so we can respond to that because it seems as though we can't
So
hear
you can't
you.
hear me.
Okay, yeah, it's better now. It's better now. Go ahead.
All right, I'll do that.
All right. So anybody else want to ask a question? Anybody else wants to make an inquiry? We're here for you. Please ask.
Yeah, Messi, please, can I come in?
Okay, yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, I think I heard a little bit of, I heard him a little. He was talking about how whether we recorded this this call. Yes, so we recorded it and it will be made available to our registered members. Okay, so if you're a registered member, definitely you will get the recorded version. But for the template that we design, that is those source documents, the receipt, we'll share it to everywhere. We'll share it to the entire platform. Let everybody have that. People need to have it. You understand? So we are going to share that to the platform. Then, but the recorded version, we'll share it on the paid version. Then the real template for this transaction recording. These are templates. We are only going to sell it for 10,000 naira. Okay. So if you are a member, you will get it at 5,000 naira. If you are not a member, you get it at 10,000 naira. Okay. So, and that is that. Admin will be posting information about that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. So we've also observed that our co-professionals are here, Mr. Gabriel. I think I can see Mr. Akin too. So just in case you guys want to say hello to the participants and chip in a thing or two on what we've spoken about today, now is the time to come and, grace us with your knowledge. So Mr. Gabriel, Mr. Akim, please say a thing or two and address us. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you for that wonderful coordination, Messi. Also, thank you to Donald Mezu and Co. Donald, that was a wonderful presentation. And also thank for this free training that you keep bringing up. To a large extent, it has assisted a lot of people and is still assisting some. Same way you presented the QuickBook and the payroll the last time. So please keep it up. And to all the participants in the house, we say thank you for attending, for also adding to your knowledge. We'll be available for question at every point in time. There's a platform. There's a registered platform and there's also the unregistered platform. For those that are registered, they are like parts, an extension of the organization. That is why you see them having discounted rate in a lot of things that comes up. Thank you once again, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Donald. And over to you, Messi.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Gabriel. Thank you very much for always being there to your knowledge. Really do appreciate you. I don't know if Mr. Akim is here. Mr. Akim, if you're here, you can address us. Also, Mr. Raymond, if you're here, please kindly say a thing or two. Just chipping into what Mr. Donald has said before we bring the meeting to a close. The floor is open.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
My name is Adina Joaquim. It is nice to be here. We appreciate the coming of everyone to this training session. Yeah, so the template is such that it's going to assist a lot of organizations, most especially the small and medium scale organizations, to keep basic accounting records and be able to have their income statements at the tip of their hand. So I will implore everyone to try as much as possible to get that template. Is something that we assist their operations a lot. So thank you, Mr. Donald has really done justice to this, and I believe we can do more in the future. We'll keep making sure that we are abreast with the things that are happening in the finance world. Thank you very much, everyone. We appreciate your coming.
Thank you so much, Mr. Akin, for that contribution. We really do appreciate you so much. Thank you. Is Mr. Raymond here? If Mr. Raymond is here, please kindly say a thing or two. Just address us. Let us feel your presence. Mr. Raymond? Okay, so maybe he's not here. I'm sure he would have loved to be. He probably was held up by one or two things. So thank you all for joining today's session. I hope we learned something. I hope we learned something because this is an opportunity that might not present itself elsewhere. So please, every time you have the opportunity to come up here and to join in, always come with your notepads, put down something. Do you understand? It can be of help to you wherever you are, wherever you work. So please be encouraged whenever you're coming here to jot down something, to get something, get knowledge. I mean, knowledge is not free anymore. Knowledge is monetized these days. So please, whenever you see knowledge for free, grab onto it. Thank you very much. I think with that being said, that'll be all for now. Till next time when we come your way. For any further questions, any further assistance on anything, just reach out to us on the platform. If you are not on the platform, please kindly send us a personal DM. Or better still, drop your numbers in the chat box so we can add you to the platform. So you can ask your questions, so you can get more inquiries concerning our paid classes or concerning our template or concerning the subscription and membership. Just let us know what you want assistance in or what you want to gain assistance in, like as per the knowledge on DMC map, and we would make it available to you. So thank you very much. Till next time when we come your way, have a lovely day. All right, bye.